Another gorgeous autumn day. Just beautiful. I wanted to say thank you to everyone that has commented, watched, and just generally provided some great perspective on that video that I posted yesterday. It's been, as you'll see from my video channel, 6 years since the last time I've done anything. So the response is unexpected, and I feel like I needed to take a moment to first of all thank everybody. But also there's been some calamity, if you will, since that video was posted. And it appears that there are people who simply don't recognize that some of us expect truth in advertising. It's not enough to say everybody's doing it. The reason why I'm doing this demonstration, this experiment, if you will, this independent study and research to gauge with the measurement of a number of different manufactured metal detectors through instruments that are ideally designed to take those measurements and capture that data. I want to see for myself, and hopefully this will inform others to make informed choices on some of the claims being made. And as I've mentioned, this was brought on by one particular manufacturer, and the calamity that's ensued is nothing new. Anybody that's been online has been a member of the metal detecting community even for a couple of years. We'll notice that there's a lot of buzz, there's a lot of hype that is being perpetuated about the latest and greatest. Some of us just like to make our own choice and decision and see how it goes. Some of us feel like there is this contingent of people in social media that are making it impossible for people to share their views, especially if they're critical. And I want to make it clear, there's a difference between a harsh critic and somebody that's spreading lies. If you're a customer, you paid for something, you have a legitimate issue, the community should have every right to hear it. There should be no one out there that has the authority to remove, quiet, or quell that review, that opinion. Now, 5 days ago, you'll see in front of the screen here, I tried to post an open letter to Minelab, and I'd explained my history as a metal detectorist, as somebody that now owns 2 machines that from Minelab that I'm worried about taking in the water because of flooding issues. My disappointment with the Equinox, that this was a fact pattern of abhorrent handling of legitimate customer issues, a fact pattern of people having the exact same issue, a fact pattern of people sending in control boxes, heads, whatever you want to call them, that had leaked on them, having them replaced, only to find out that that same replacement head leaked again. And in some cases, I know people that have had 4 heads. In any other industry, in any other consumer product where something happens at the rate that it did with this particular release of product, there should have been some remediation, there should have been some redress, there should have been some voluntary recall that acknowledged that this was something that was deficient of the design of the machine. In the post, I indicate what those issues were, including the ears coming clear off of my coil, the known issue with the water ingress from the battery bung. This was something that was also communicated to me directly from someone at Minelab. Um, I got the response saying that there were a few running changes that were made to the units during production. Unfortunately, I cannot say when, as we were not privy to that information. One change I am aware of is the battery bung, right? So this isn't something new. And what Minelab chose to do is to just continue to push out defective product and hope that once the warranty expired on people, they would not be able to do anything anymore, and they'd wash their hands, right? Let's face it, that's what it is, okay? But historically, it's not only about, Reddit banning me because I posted this open letter and I gave complete fact and information about my experience. I've been permanently banned. That I want to emphasize because I know people are going to say, well, they have terms of service, they have policies. That's fair. I didn't do anything to contravene any policy. All I did was I shared my experience with a particular detector, and it was directed to Minelab in hope that others who felt the same or had experienced the same issues would respond and comment. And that was happening. This has nothing to do with that. Reddit is known for having done all sorts of, you want to talk about contravention. This is a site that had a subreddit that allowed people to share instructions on how to commit theft from major big box stores. They literally had a section on shoplifting. So there is no, law-abiding reason. There is no rule governing reason. This was strictly to muzzle somebody that was making Minelab look bad. It was not bashing because I had a legitimate gripe. I had a legitimate complaint, and there were people that were commenting on this post that were agreeing with me. Many of them. It was upvoted to as many as 15 people at one point, and then all it took is one person who I later found out was connected to a dealer. And if you do a search on this subreddit, you'll see that there's tons of posts by that dealer for dealer discount codes. So that was the reason. It was because my letter made it hard for that dealer to sell metal detectors. I got notifications from people saying this is ridiculous, but it's been an ongoing thing. It's been something that I've noticed happening in social media groups. A lot more face groups are now being controlled by dealers and resellers, and even any mention of a machine's issues that interferes with that sponsor being able to sell those machines is seen as a problem. And you're a problem if you have to voice that opinion. One of the best posts that I saw from somebody that I highly respect happened in a Facebook group, Minelab Canada Metal Detecting. Terry Wilson, who had explained that he was having issues with the 800 in the Boreal Forest. And if you see this picture here, he's trying to metal detect under these rocks. And after reading the post, I immediately knew there were two things. One, the problem was related to not being able to ground balance, and that he'd never be able to ground balance that machine, right? But I'd also told him I hope I'm wrong. I'm hoping that the engineering department there will get involved and they'll be able to give you an answer. And you know what? They basically said the same thing. So in his communication initially, it wasn't really met well. There were people that were saying, well, you're probably the reason. You don't know how to use it. And this is a pattern that's happened repeatedly with anything that people have addressed, any quip, any issue that makes Minelab look like they're the problem, right? Yesterday I posted this video in what I believe to be a well-run group. One of the admins took exception. He thought that I was bashing Minelab, when in actual fact I wasn't. What I want to do is I want to make video content that reveals the truth. And I also want, in closing, I want to say a couple of things. I hope that the people that think that I'm trying to do this to cause issues understand that I have a background in things where this idea of social media influencers trying to subvert content in a way that is not being truthful or honest has repercussions. And if you're an influencer and you're out there trying to push a product or even just trying to give a favorable review, it's really important that you familiarize yourself with the laws, because there are specific laws related to social media influencers on the FTC, and in Canada we have the Competition Bureau. The FTC outlines Disclosures 101 for social media influencers. Do you work with brands to recommend or endorse products? If so, you need to comply with the law when making these recommendations. In the Canadian context, the Government of Canada or the Competition Bureau, influencer marketing and the Competition Act. Truth in advertising is important. As an influencer, consumers rely on the opinions you share online about products and services and believe that they are genuine and impartial. It's misleading if you don't make it clear that your online content is actually an advertisement. The deceptive marketing practices provision of the Competition Act apply to anyone who is promoting a product, service, or any business interest. So as an influencer, the Act applies to you. You should disclose all material connections you have with the business, product, or service you are promoting. I can't emphasize that enough. I spend a fair bit of time online. I contribute to communities. I feel I contribute. I am going to be as honest and truthful as you're going to find from anybody. If I buy a piece of equipment and it's good, you're going to hear praise. If it's not good, you're going to hear the bad things. And I wanted to make this video because I feel like there are other people out there who may be experiencing the same thing. You should be vocal, and you should make those who are trying to quiet you or trying to keep you from revealing whatever experience you feel others should know about, aware that these laws apply to them. If there's any material connection to any company, any product that they receive, any endorsement that they give, it needs to be disclosed. Thank you for watching. I appreciate again all the amazing comments and feedback. I am really looking forward to continuing that series. It's just a matter of weather cooperating right now, but the planning has already gone underway. If you know anybody that would want to see some of the results from that multi-part series, please share my link to them. And once again, thank you.